here for this professional development program on Applied Artificial Intelligence and Expert System organized by Department of CSE AIML. We have a very special guest today joining us, Professor Pradeep Kumar, sir. Dr. Pradeep Kumar is currently working as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Information Technology, School of Technology, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Hyderabad. He has more than 25 years of teaching and research experience. He has obtained his doctoral degree from School of Information and Communication Technology, Guru Gobind Singh in the Pratishtha University, New Delhi. His areas of interest include software engineering, data science, data mining, soft computing, machine learning. He has published 25 reputed international journals, 11 international conference proceedings, 4 book chapters and 3 books in his credit. He has active membership in Association for Computing Machines, India, Computer Science Teachers Association USA, International Association of Engineers, International Association of Computer Science and Information Technology, Singapore, and Universal Association of Computer and Electronics Engineering. He has conducted 5 national conferences and AICTE Atal FDP on data science. He has delivered various talks in invite guest lectures, FDPs, and refresh courses, chaired sessions as a resource person. He is also a co-principal investigator of an R&D project with a total estimate outlay of rupees 104.23 lakh titled Adaptive Assistive System for Moderate Mentally Disabled Children, sanctioned to the Department of Computer Science and Information Technology, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, approved by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology of India. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Over to you.
Very good morning, dear students. I think I don't need to. I'm a teacher. I don't need this. Okay. I need to carry this whole session. So it is good to see all the candidates, students attending BC or FPP personality development programs, and I'm told that this is the last day of your session, right? So it shows your interest. Consistent interest of the pressure put up by the because of your attendance or the management perspective, whatever. So let us start. Initially, I was under the impression that this program is going to be free for the faculty, but I see all these are the students of BTech 38, 4th year, maybe some of you second year, third year. And let me assume you are either you have studied or you are going to study this machine learning subjects and at least one programming language in the name of Python. Either you have completed or you are going to complete it. The rest of the semester will come to semester. So I will present the PPTs from that perspective so that you can understand some basic algorithms, and with the rest of your semester boards, you try to implement those, and maybe you take some of the projects. I can see few students I came last time for a C presentation or the external practical examination. So those guys can ask me the certain question that I was asking too many. Okay, so the topic is a knowledge extraction using inductive learning, right? So this is the outline of the presentation, starting with the introduction, some little bit of motivation part, and then how does this AI and the machine learning is going to help in this inductive learning or this one. So I start from a very basic slide. So we see this knowledge transformation, the knowledge extraction through inductive learning. So what we are going to cover under inductive learning, so the knowledge we are going to extract through, this is the observations based on the past behaviors, right? And then the knowledge and the, then later on convert into the wisdoms, right? So I start from the basic definition of the data, right? You see in the entire country nowadays the raining is happening all the way around the corner, and I thought it was a heavy rain yesterday in the city. maybe near Charminar, right? So is it a information or data? Because you other students kindly do interact. And it is your the last session also, so it hardly matters just listening, keep on listening. This activation function, artificial neural network, and all these you have been doing the last 1 week program. So interact, please. Try to make it as much as interactive. What you have understood from these kind of programs, so that they will give the feedback to your head of the department also. So when I say yesterday it was heavily raining in the city nearby Charminar area. So is it a information or data? It is a information. Huh? So you are doing this artificial intelligence and machine learning program in BTech. So when the problem is coming at the very beginning stage, data and information, right? So data, you put certain question to your data like what, where, when, what, where, when, and why we will talk later, right? So then it becomes a part of your information. So data meaning is when we said that it was heavily raining. So heavily raining where? So I mentioned the city itself, right? It is a Hyderabad city, it is a Charminar area, right? Now if I ask what was the quantum of this raining, impact of the raining, the meteorological department measured the raining impact in terms of mm or cm. So this is when you put measure this one. So this is part of your data. So when you put it into a meaningful order, it becomes your information, right? Then when it becomes a knowledge, if I say then how rains happen all over the country or all over the globe, what is the phenomena? What cause to happens rain? So this is a simple principle, and the scientific principle. Let's say if the humidity is very high and the temperature drops, substantially, right? And the atmosphere, is not able to hold this moisture, unable to hold this moisture, and then the rain falls. Right? So when you put the word how, you are looking for the principle, knowledge. You are applying some logic. How does rain happen? And that's when it deals to the wisdom, then you analyze, put all together. What causes rain? What is the impact of rain? And can we take some precautions, or can we apply into a real life scenario to this? Then it becomes a part of your wisdom. For example, whenever nowadays any cyclonic condition reforms, cyclone and the floods and all this, you see there's a lot of precautions in the meteorological departments and the weather forecasting system, makes announcement, and the precautions are taken. Villages are evacuated from their respective villages and kept nearby areas and something like that. And see how much, casualty, how much, damage is being controlled by using this weather forecasting system. So the days has gone that you might have seen, maybe you might not born that time, maybe 20 or 25 years back, when the weather forecasting system used to make a statement, intelligence. And that's what we are looking here in terms of the artificial intelligence and how it is going to help you out. Analyze these informations and making use in the form of classification or the prediction or any other application we are going to work, right? So we start our problems with the data and then how it is converting into the wisdom. So wisdom now, based on this knowledge, we extract it through these data, through these past observations, right? Can we apply into a real life situation so that if tomorrow something happens, there is a Bay of Bengal, the water vaporization takes place, right? So and when the cloud start forming, right? And this is the air current or the flow of current, and that will carry forward these clouds in the respective direction or the dimension. And wherever this becomes heavy, it is unable to hold the moisture. Again, there will be a rain based on the intensity of the cloud formation. Now, based on that, like cloud bursting situation in the Himalayas and other ones, what preventions, what measures we can take in advance, right? And this is all going to depend on the kind of data we have captured, right? And the kind of analysis, like exploratory data analysis we are going to apply to it, right? What kind of algorithms we are going to apply in order to find the accurate, better, efficient, robust, scalable, the classification and the prediction, right? So my focus would be towards a little bit more to the learning component and the machine learning, right? So I hope you understand the concept that this is going to be the part of your inductive learning, right? And in meanwhile, please raise as many questions you like. Don't wait for the last minute to end up the session. So this is again the diagrams you are working or you are getting on the screen. So data, then we are relating or analyzing this data, putting into information, right? And then applying certain exploratory analysis or some other statistics to convert into a knowledge, and then the okay, I think I can come here. Right. Okay. So this one you are no. So this data is a lower part than the understanding relations is in converting into the information, and then the knowledge, understanding the patterns and the relationship and the logic and the scientific principles behind that. This is converting into the knowledge, and then you are understanding the reasons behind that, how and why. So that's why in the initial stage I excluded the word why. When you put the what, where, when to the data, it becomes the information part. Why it will lead to the this term, right? So this is a types of different kinds of knowledge we deal in. This is in context with the artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence, what it does, basically it is a simulation of the human intelligence processes events, and that too using a machine. And machine we are using a computer system, and more precisely we use the word computational machine or the computational techniques, right? So this is you see here. Like I start from the procedural knowledge. Describes about the rules, how does it describe? How does the things take place, right? Let's say how do you drive a car? So talks about the procedures, right? Then the top one declarative knowledge describes about the facts, not about the processes. Right? That today is a very bright day, it's not raining. So talks about the processes, right? To apply your analysis. For example, myself, I have a body like that, you can describe in terms of the dimension, height, weight, size, color, complexions, nose, hands, figures, all these things, BMI, you can use this one, right? But if I ask what is the dominant feature I have described of myself, you understand? If I want to describe as an object, so what is the dominant and the significant features? Can I see the hands, fingers, weight, no, age, no, age bhi nahi, blood group, oh that's also no. Then what else? I say eyes, yes, why not? Iris, if you have heard about this application, eyes, Then this thumb impression, how many of you agree? This is hardly 1 by 1 centimeter square area, and even if you go for the notary or any registration of the flat, land, whatever, you put the thumb impression. These thumb impression are captured. What is there in this area, which gives you the unique identities of the billions people? And this is the significant feature of the body. Rather than capturing the entire scenario, I just put this here. This is the dominant feature. So if I exclude this component during the analysis, then the result will not be leading to the accurate. Right? This is what I was trying to explain. So this is the metadata that the heuristic knowledge gives about some guessing or some patterns, observations, right? How it is going to look out. And then the last one is the structural knowledge. It describes about the structure and the substructures, the relationship between the objects and the concepts and like that. So what does really this machine learning do? I just covered from this AI slide, right? That is very simple slide, and I'm told, and I know that this is the last session. Might be some slides be a repetition for you. So please tell me, sir, ignore. Okay. So just I try to explain how does this intelligent model is going to help you during this intelligence, right? Intelligent calculation, computation, classification, prediction, and all these things, right? Okay. So we start from the This one, input. Right? So the first part is the input. So how do we get the intelligent inputs? Can we take from the repositories? Are you aware any one of the repositories for any machine learning? Or anyone you, let's say the students data of your university, of your college or JNTU. This could be one repository of the students, any banking detail, any this retailing, any data mart, shopping complex, banking, these are all the parts of the database. Any other social media, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the huge fake news detection. Somebody was working on an application, fake news detection. How do you detect the fake news? Running all the way, and then the pattern is start and the trending is start, and down the line the news which were never ever exist came into a pattern, and the followers started, trending also started. So these things started with the data. So input start, we are here looking for the acquisition, for the capturing of the data, and that too not from the repositories, right? We are applying some intelligent techniques like IoTs, intelligent sensors, data acquisition, right? So the data acquisition part of this input, and natural language vision. Vision is a computer vision is a field of the computer science deals with the basically digital image processing, right? For the image processing. Have you studied this paper, image processing? Anyone of you this semester? Now they are studying. So I am sure you might have gone through this geometrical transformation, 2D transformation, 3D transformation, then the projection, illumination, shading, rendering. If not, wait for them, right? And then the continuing with the digital image processing, right? So the how does this image is being processed digitally? Either using a wavelength or the spatial domain. Spatial in terms of the coordinates, x and y, and then finally converting into the pixels, right? For example, I take, let's say, if I want to capture an image, just and using that a very old phone, not like you people, this Apple phone and all. So the quality of the image will depend on what condition, what parameters? The first thing comes, smart guys, pixel, right? So what is the pixel? The smallest unit to represent any object in the graphics, right? So the maximum number of pixels will give you the better resolution, right? So if the camera has the larger or the maximum resolution, so accordingly the quality of the image would be a better one. This is just one parameter. What are this? Light. Okay. Very because all these comes to this image processing area. So it is the huge range of the study and your work in terms of modeling, gaming, and all others, right? Okay. And then comes to the knowledge representation, going to through facts, figures, rules. Then we go to about the reasoning, planning, and the last one. This one is this one is not something. The learning component, right? So I'll be a little bit more focused to the learning parts, right? So how this machine is going to learn? How do you learn? Forget about the machine. Examination system, there is a transparent feature usually adopted everywhere in the universities and the colleges. You have the sessional and the answer sheet is discussed with you after the examination is over. I'm sure here also. If not, the day will come soon. At least all the internal copies are evaluated and shown to you. What's the purpose? What is wrong? What went wrong? And it is expected you learn from the mistake. Whatever you repeated in the past. So it is a learning from the experience, learning from the observation, and learning from the past, getting insights from the past performance. And this is what we are going to cover under the inductive learning. Right? So this is a part of the learning, and in terms of machine learning, broadly there are the three categories. Please try to understand, I'm not interested in running the PPT slides. I'm more interested to the discussion you like to get involved. Okay, please and take it from any point and then discuss. Right? So broadly three categories of the machine learning. One is the supervised, another one is the unsupervised, and last one is the reinforcement. And sometimes you use another terminology, semi-supervised. If there is a partially supervised or partially unsupervised. So that's what we are going to cover in our presentation today. And whatever I'll see if the time permits me. I'll try to implement one or two algorithms on the Python so that you can have a feed and let know you incorporate in your routine exercise or the semester. Right? So this is a very basic question. Many times you get to know and you face this. Any link up with the AI, machine learning, and the deep learning? And the slide should give the answer. So if you start from the machine learning, it is a sub-part of the subsystem of the artificial intelligence, right? And what does this deep learning is the neural networks, is the architecture or the inheritance architecture of the neural network, right? Like I was quoting the example of this image. So it requires so many, this processes to get. So that's why this AI and the machine learning is not going to help out. So we look for the deep learning. For example, take a scenario of automated car. The cars are coming in the days are coming, forget, maybe after 10 years, or 12 years, 20 years, there will be no more driver. Huh? Can you believe it? You believe. Because the days has gone. No? Have you ever seen in your life PCO, STD, ISD, PCO book? Movies mein dekha hoga, you never find now. Because the days has gone now. Have you seen any landline phone now? Hoga office. So like this one, the automated cars are coming back. So how does it come? So all these intelligences are applied. Learning is applied. The robots are applied. Sensors are applied. Now see, the car is halt at a red light. Just understand the scenario, right? There's a red light. There's a car behind. There is another object or another vehicle in front of you, another vehicle, and the side and this one. So how does this car will automatically move? Because there is a quite possible the light would be coming from another vehicle, and then usually red lights hoti hai. So how it will detect? First it will detect the object, whether it is coming from the signal or from the nearby object. So the detection of the object will be the first component, right? Then the detection, then recognition. Is this a red light or it is a normal light? Then the recognize, then the labeling. It is the signal light, it is the car light, it is the brake light or whatever this one. Then the labeling, and then the classification, and then the prediction. And that's why you move to the deep learning component. So here it is not going as simply neural network kind of things are going to work easily, right? So this way I differentiate between the AI and machine learning and the deep learning. Now, this is one of the most widely used definition of the machine learning. Tom Mitchell say I have got it right. Just 3 words you just focus on and try to correlate with the discussion so far we had, and then we are going to cover. There is a task. Any program, the system says or the definition says a computer program is said to learn from experience based on the task and according to its performance if it improves over the given task. Right? So basically 3 words are there if you just look at the definition. There is a experience T, there is the task T, and there is the performance. TTP, 3 words are written over there. Right? So what is the experience? It is a part of the observation, repository, data set. This is all we are calling as a. In case of training, we started our discussion. What could be the data set? What could be the repository? If I want to get the repository of the raining condition of the Hyderabad city or Telangana city, let's say last 50 years, the months and the years, then the temperature, volume, pressure, moisture, humidities, and all, rainy, non-rainy, and all the conditions, I just want to capture. So probably the meteorological department might be having all these observations with them. So this is part of the repository, right? Any other repository you are aware of from the machine learning point of view? So the UCI machine learning repository. You will get almost 600 or thousands of repositories related to the classification, regression, clustering, and reinforcements, all the kind of applications. Have you heard this or not? No. Kaggle is another one, more than I know 50,000 or more than this. And you will get the code also from there, so you should know. Kaggle is there, another one, GitHub, openml.org, any genomic data, DNA, RNA, biosequences, and apart from that, all the social media data. Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all these one data. So this is all a part of the data set. So concluding that, we are not worried about the data, which is a part of your experience, which is the past behavior, right? And the best part you can capture. Capture means you can take it, you can collect it. There is some basic techniques of data collection, like sampling, interviewing, questionnaires, from the documents, All these you can apply. So now what is the task? Broadly, machine learning deals with the two categories of the task. One is the classification, another one is the prediction. Classification is applied to the categorical data and prediction is applied to the numerical data, and no confusion around it. It's as simple as that. Okay? So there are only two categories of the task we are going to perform. Either it is a classification task or it is a prediction. Right? If I say this, I want to classify these class. These are the females already segregated, and this is the male. Is it an example of classification? Yes. Why not? And they are already classified. This is the whole rows, and the right side is the female and the left side is the male. Anyway, then the performance P. How do you measure the performance? Maximum time whenever you apply any algorithm, you just talk about the accuracy. Is there any other parameter apart from accuracy? That is the, see, in machine learning, from the machine learning point of view, as far as the complexity you are talking, time complexity or the space and the, it doesn't matter. That it takes too long time. And when it comes to the COVID prediction. But the prediction should be high. Accuracy is one thing. Apart from that, the scalability, robustness, efficiency, the user friendly. These are the other parameters you should look into this one. Accuracy, let's say if you have already achieved 100% or 99.9%. So there is hardly any scope. So the scalability means it can work, it can perform on a small data set, but will fail to the largest data set and the larger repositories. Okay. So the performance. So usually two categories of the performance. One, we apply the measurement in terms of the quantity measurement, another one is the qualitative measurement. So which one is the better? Qualitative or quantitative? Quantitative. Quality, because there is a quality word, right? So quantitative measure is the more important, is a better one. Why it is? Let me explain. If I say there will be a rain today, and it would be there will be a light rain. For example, I just put in the word light rain or the moderate or the ice rain. Okay, this is one statement. And if I say the getting light rain today or the probability of getting light rain today is 99.5%. So which one would be the more significant statement? Which one would be the more convincing statement rather than say? When we use the numbers, right? 99%. So the quantitative is a pattern measurement techniques, and the reason quantitative works on the numbers, qualitative works on the discrete values, right? Okay, if say he is a tall guy and he is not, and if you just compare the physical say attributes, there is a hardly, let's say, 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter difference. So if he is tall, how can he be small? No, then the soft computing comes into the picture. When say he is almost 100% tall and he is 99% tall, let's say 90% tall, it doesn't is small at all, right? So the quantitative measurements gives you the pattern assessments, right? So we apply two kinds of matrices. Under quantitatives, we go for the error matrix. Like error is what? It is just a deviation from the standard of the actual outcome. And there is another confusion matrix, which is applies to the discrete data, and this error matrix is applied to the numerical data. Error, mean square error, root mean square, normalized mean square, sum of square, all these are the derivations, right? But basically it starts from the error source. So this is what we do now with the, so learning means improving with experience at some task. This is the definition. And this is it. Any difference you find out between this traditional programming and machine learning programming? Just look at the board and please respond. So it doesn't reflect on the screen. I think there is a reflection or something like that. It comes here, goes here, but wants to come to this. That's another RNG I think at the first time. So what is there? So data is also there and the output is there in the machine learning. Whereas in this traditional programming, you give the data, you give the programs and check for the output, right? So take one example. ये थोड़ा सा categorization of the data from the exploratory data analysis point of view, right? So data is categorized usually in terms of like it could be of the audio, video, images, or the text, right? So if it is the text and associated with the labels, it is going to be of the like the data, it is image, audio, video frames, all this kind of, and that's it is the label data. Label means that if the outcome is associated with each corresponding input, that's the label. So if it is present, it is a supervised learning. If the associated outcomes or target is not present, it is going to be the unsupervised learning. So if it is a supervised learning, all these supervised learning algorithms are going to be applied, like decision tree induction algorithm, naive-Bayes, support vector machine, artificial neural network, right? And if it is unsupervised learning, all the clustering algorithms, either the hierarchical or the partitional algorithms are going to be applied. So if the data is a discrete, it is a classification. If it is continuous, it is a regression form. So can I say the continuous is a time-dependent variable? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, like age. Age is a time dependent? Temperature? Yes, why not? It could be constant for certain period of interval, but it is either increasing, decreasing, or remains constant. So variation is there accordingly. That's only the difference. Okay. So this already we have completed this slide. So we need not to worry about the data set. This is just one stats I have taken from some slides. Google. 24 petabytes of data per day. It is being stored or uploaded. Facebook 10 million photos uploaded every year. 1 hour of video uploaded every second. YouTube. Twitter 400 million tweets per day. Satellite data, standard repository, genomes, RNA, DNA, Kaggle, GitHub, OpenML. These all are so many resources for the data. So that's why now we are coming to what to do with this data. क्या कर सकते हैं? There is another field is coming, data science. There is a BTech program here, another branch of specialization. So data science is getting the insights from these data, applying all your intelligence algorithms, right? If there is heterogeneous or different kind of data, and you apply this one. So what will you do? If I ask, what are the two basic operations of the computers? Can anyone, narrate? Only these 3-4 guys are, helping me to carry this forward, and the males are just enjoying the sitting. Computer से कुछ operation है? Calculator के भी हैं. तो कोई difference है basic? तो basic what I'm trying to discuss over here. Simple searching, sorting. These are the very basic operations with this one. So we start from the database housing and the online analytical part. Right? Then the another indexing, searching, and the querying. So the keyword base and the resource description framework. Then the knowledge discovery. I don't know whether you have studied this subject, data mining. So data mining, yes or no? You have studied. Okay. So the data mining is nothing. It is a knowledge discovery from the large data sets. Right? So and then the statistical modeling. So in statistical modeling, we are applying through this, exploratory analysis. This word has been repeated many times. That says, okay, so what do you mean by the exploratory analysis? Simple mathematical, simple statistical analysis, right? Mean, mode, median, with the standard deviation, correlation, variance, and all other stuff. And then finally, predictive analysis and the deep learning. So I'm going to take one example of this predictive analytics. I'm keeping in view your main titles, that the knowledge extraction using inductive learning. Okay. So this is this is a part of. This is one slide through which I will try to explain the entire machine learning I am aware of. And this is the slide you should ask as many questions you have. Right? So data pre-processing we need to apply by. If you get involved with that discussion, probably you will understand a little bit more. If you just keep on learning, then you will find. Why do we need to apply the data pre-processing? At least DBMS you might have studied or not. Okay. So let us say if there is a, I go back to this initial example of acquisition of the image, right? And I see the noise get introduced while I am capturing or acquiring this data. So what is the noise? in this room, in this hall, any discussion left and right, gentlemen, you, it is a part of noise. Can you explain what is noise? I am saying anything else happening, going apart from this discussion, it is a part of noise. I repeat, can you explain what is noise? So unwanted information which you are indulging, no? This is not required. So this is not, so noise. That's the image में noise कहाँ से आएगा? This is background का reflection है, refraction है. This is all a part of the noising. So the pre-processing will require how do you remove the noise, which is unwanted. So because if you are applying the analysis to the this unprocessed data or unrefined data, the similarly results will lead into that inaccuracy, inefficiency, and like this. So we are going for the pre-processing, right? So you're the missing treatment of missing values, null values, outliers, and the discretization, normalization. All this is a part of your data pre-processing. So now continue from this slide. As I said, I will start from it is a diagram with the left to right, top to bottom. Okay. So this is first part is the data repository. I mentioned a number of repositories before you, right? Anyone you can take, health sector, banking, retailing, agriculture, or the institutional or election commission, any Facebook, any social media, any data you are having or you can capture. You have the choice. So the process starts with the data repository, right? And then on the top, data categorization, which I shown you in the earlier slide. So initially, before you apply your any machine learning algorithm, you need to understand what kind of data you are dealing with, right? So having understood whether it is a labeled or the discrete or non-labeled, right? So you will come to know that I need to apply the regression algorithm, so I need to apply the prediction algorithm or the clustering algorithm. Okay. Now, so upper part is this. Then the below one. So initially you need to go for the splitting criteria. So you need to divide this data set into the training and the testing. Practically what should happen, it should be a separate data for testing and the validation. But when we don't have the live data with us, so what we do actually and practically, we take from the inputs only. So the certain parts is divided, cap result for the training, and the remaining parts applied for the testing and further divided into the validation also. So any criteria you apply? Three criteria are there. One is the sampling or the splitting, another one is the leave one out, and third one is the k-fold cross validation. So this is the first one. Sampling is applied when you have a more or the large data set with you. Let's say in the order of thousands of reports. So what do you do basically? This is the standard practice. But the reason is like that. You will find out in certain examples or papers 70-30, 75-25, sometimes 80-20 also. But the logic is that 2/3 is applied for the training and 1/3 is applied for the testing, right? And that is further divided for the validation and the testing part. So the 2/3 is rather than writing 66.66 and then 33.3. So usually you take 30 and 70. This is only the reason. But when the data is large enough. But at the other end, when the data is not large enough of the thousands reports and the observations, then what do? You apply the leave one out. This is basically a technique of sampling with replacement. You don't take those samples which comes more frequently. So at least you exclude those samples which are coming frequently. This is another technique, leave one out, or LU methods we call it. And it is applied to the moderate data sets, right? And the third one is the best technique is the k-fold cross validation. I'm sure you might have heard, yes or no? Okay, for example, there is 100 records only with you, 100 or the 200 records, right? So what do? You put into a number of folders. Fold equal to k-fold. Let's say k equal to 10, and you have the 200 observations. So what will be and k equal to 10. So how many folders would be there? K equal to 10 and 200. 2020, right? So each folder is carrying 20 observations, right? So what we do in this case, one folder cap result for the testing purpose and the remaining 9 folders are applied for the training purpose. And thereafter these folders are interchanged so that the no folder is cache repeated for the training and testing. And this is why we call it the batch technique, because when we don't have the large repository, large data set, and we collect our own data, so we apply this K fold. So there could be 100 thoda kam ho that, but still then you can go with the K fold cross validation. So is that clear? Okay, fine. So this is a part of the training data and then the testing data. Come to the feature selection. This is the model part, this is the middle one with machine learning models. And the first part comes the feature selection. So what is the feature selection? As I mentioned in the beginning, I want to measure the, I'm looking for a diagnosis. Let's say the viral diagnosis. So कहाँ से input कहाँ से शुरू होगा? CBC blood profile लेंगे ना, blood से शुरू करेंगे. They will not ask age कितना है, temperature कितना है. That's another, but the sampling will start from the blood cells, right? And then they will find out, okay, blood rate itna hai, micro ये, this and all, and this one, and then you will come to know. Okay, so this feature selection is the important part of this before we apply any machine learning algorithm. Then how do we apply these feature selection? How do we come to know? I'm going to take one example here, but broadly there are the two methods applied. One is the filter, wrapper, and the what do you call the hybrid, and these are the statistical measures. I'm using this word very frequently from very beginning in the morning. The exploratory, descriptive, and this is statistical. Any difference between mean and average? I need from this group, female group. Otherwise, they will feel bad. Sir is not considering the integrated part of this class, and we are more than better stuff than the boys. Anyone from the last average, and because we have gone through so many things, हमने statistics भी लगा लिया, descriptive भी लगा लिया, quantitative, quality. Just believe we have this is so many things, and one go and a running session. So what is, and I know I'm asking, this is the basic stat, mean, mode, median, range. So I start from the average and mean. Any difference? Raise your hands if any difference. This is not expected reaction. Unfortunately, if your marks, internal or sessional, is lost or gone astray or misplaced by the teacher, what the teacher will do? Average. But bright students always will come and complain, sir, why average? I'm the bright candidate. I should have been given maximum. It is your fault. You only missed the marks. I should be given myself this average. Would you agree with your average? I think no, you should not. He said, देने तो फिर maximum दो ना, average क्यों? Average and mean are same. ये लिख लीजिए. And this is the basic stats I have used. Average जब लगाएंगे ना कुछ, that's how do we apply these feature selection or any descriptive or AIARE or whatever we do. So average is the minimum. But the problems with the mean and average is same. Please. Mean कहीं पे लिखे average बोले, it is all same, and you understand it is divided sum of all the samples divided by the number of groups. That's only of the mean. But the problem with the mean is that it badly suffers with the outliers. I just made one statement and try to realize it. The mean value or the average value badly suffers with the outlier. What does it mean? Suppose if in our analysis we exclude the maximum marks, so your average will come down or go up? Down आएगा. Maximum marks हमने include किए हैं आपके उसमें samples में. Go up है ना? तो आपके marks दूसरों पे dependent हो रहे हैं. Now to the other end, if I exclude the maximum mark and include the minimum, unfortunately there are the 0 marks in the class. There are the people. Let us say, assume a very unpleasant situation. Now this average will go up, will go down. And now see, your characteristics have been dependent on the others. So this is the descriptive statistics. This is the exploratory data analysis I am referring to it. So when we go for the feature selection, either we go this filter methods or statistical methods or any other methods, we need to see which methods we are applying and what. So the mean is not a good solution, right? Even we apply. So you can go with the median and the mode, and that's more. I see the diagrams and it has been discussed in the past. It depends on the kind of distribution of the data, which I am excluding from this session. Anyway, right? So feature selection, the filter method, wrapper method, and these are nothing. These are the statistical method, which includes the analysis of variance, standard deviation, covariance, and other stuff. Okay. Then after getting to the significant features. So we select only those features because if you take the example of COVID, still there is no foolproof method that you capture the symptom and you classify if you are suffering with COVID or not. Because the process is too complex. It could be a simple viral fever. It could be any other way, normal fever and such. So because depend on so many parameters, so getting to this significant parameters, that's a challenge. Okay, but we have the technique. Another one, then the model selection. Model which we saw the diagram in the beginning, with the intelligent inputs, then the visions, and then the reasoning, knowledge representation, and the machine learning, right? So the model selection we see based on the data, which algorithms we are going to work with. It is a supervised, unsupervised, or reinforced, right? So we understand that if it is a labeled data, we are going to apply the supervised learning. Any algorithms you are familiar with this one? Decision tree induction algorithm is the basic algorithms. I'll discuss with you just very soon. Okay, and then the naive based, right? Any other? K-nearest, right? Artificial neural network, support vector machine. Random forest, gradient boosting, extreme gradient boosting. There's so many algorithms. Okay, so the algorithms we will take, and then the model learner. Learner we will apply these the parameters. So that's that is it. And if you see here, it is a recursive approach. Why this? We may not be leading to the accurate result in our basic approach. So what we do? We need to define either change the parameter, change the algorithm, change the data, change the splitting criteria, change the hypertuning, and all these until we get the better result. So we come to this situation, and then we apply to the testing part, right? So is this data which we divided into the two categories in the beginning, we will apply for the testing component. Right? And this is the evaluation. So what is the evaluation criteria? Usually we talk accuracy ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, right? Conversely, you can say error minimum होना चाहिए. But you see the same key, meaning दोनों का एक ही है. How do you relate this error and accuracy? Accuracy equal to 1 minus error, isn't it? So this is what. So you can say maximize accuracy, minimize error, optimize error. But most of errors are related. You could put some other way also, right? Okay, and here we see if it is a continuous data, that's a mean error, absolute mean error, mean square error, sum of square error, root mean square, normalized. All are the variants of the errors. And this is a confusion matrix where you apply accuracy, precision, F4, F measure, ROC curve, and the others, right? Okay, and then this where the target is achieved, you apply for the validation, and this should be unknown data, the data which is not being used for the training and testing. In practical situation, we don't get this one, so we apply this testing also. So if it is all happening, then we validate and apply this model for any practical problems, right? So this is what I thought to put my machine learning knowledge into a single slide. Any question, or should we proceed further? Huh? Okay, fine. नहीं ये तब होता है तो कुछ भी समझ में ना आए. Take slide ये छोटे से discuss कर लेते हैं. These are the kind of algorithms for the machine supervised में कौन सी categories हैं, and the unsupervised learning, right? So classification, regression, support vector machine, discriminant analysis, naive Bayes, nearest neighbor, and regression, linear regression, and Gaussian linear management, support vector regression, Gaussian process regression. All these mathematical models are example, decision, and neural network. Unsupervised clustering methods. GK means hierarchical, Gaussian mixture, neural network, hidden Markov, and the fuzzy clustering means and density-based clustering. These are the basic algorithms for clustering. And this is a design cycle we started. So basic components are there. We start from the data, then the feature selection, model selection, learning, and finally testing the outcomes. Okay, ये मैं बहुत जल्दी खत्म कर देता हूँ. We come to एक ये भी थोड़ा सा प्लानिंग फास्ट कर लेते हैं. This is the feature selection methods I was referring to this one. Supervise के लिए क्या लगाते हैं? Unsupervised के लिए लगते हैं inclusive, wrapper, filters, trees, RFP, recursive feature elimination. This is a mathematical or the statistical method. Stats and feature importance. From here, if you can understand something, if the input variable is numeric, output variable is a numeric, which methods you can apply?
Pearson and Pearson.
Here. So this thing, because the Pearson and the mathematics of numbers पे work here, this is one of the reasons. Right? So if the input variable is categorical, output variable is a categorical, so we go for the chi-squared and the chi-squared method and the mutual information. So if you are aware of the hypothesis testing, have you heard the word? So which method you apply for the hypothesis? Chi-squared. Because numbers नहीं है ना वहाँ पर. Let's say I made a tentative statement, a hypothesis, that the females or the girls in the rural areas are less educated. I just simply made a tentative statement that the children in the rural areas are more prone to the small ones. This is one. ये social studies के basically subject, right? Then you will ask us, how will you justify? Test it. So if it is my hypothesis, I will start always with the null thesis. So it is become my null thesis at 0. So I will always test my null hypothesis. So if it is accepted, right, then the null will be the rejected and the results are proven. So then how I am going to prove it? There should be some mathematical procedure. That's why we come back to the statistics. So mathematics plays a vital role, and that's why the statistical analysis and this probability and this mathematics. ये आपका if you see from this one, feature reduction deals with the dimensionally reduction of the principal. We apply principal component analysis, right? कि number of features ज़्यादा है उनमें से कम करनी. This is the feature reduction. ये छोटे एक एल्गोरिथम मेरे को आपको क्रिटिकली डिस्कस करना है and I plan to demonstrate on the Python. So the time थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा जा रहा है, so we will go a little bit fast. Okay. So decision tree one algorithm, and as the name explains, is the tree. It is basically historical representation. So the trees are constructed in a top-down manner, right? And it is a divide and conquer, recursive top-down bottom approach. Root node से शुरू करते हैं, then they apply to the leaf node, left child and the right child, recursively, and then we reach to the leaf node. So leaf node is the classification and root node is the initial or beginning of the tree. Okay, this way this is the now ये देखिएगा यहाँ पे flow chart, size, structure है, internal node denotes the best attribute. So there are the two processes starting. One is a tree construction and another one is the tree pruning. Let's go थोड़ा explain. If you can take a pic of this one, या फिर ये अपने मोबाइल से भी आप ले लीजिए. It is an open data ID3 Queensland. You can download from the website. ID3 Queensland. Should I write from it? ID3 Queensland. Data mining में एक थोड़ा सा example है. I got this data. So and try to understand that how does this decision tree algorithm is going to help us, right? Inductive learning मेरे ख्याल में मुझे लगता है you will be able to understand better here, right? It is a training data set. It is linked data set. Queensland ID3. Okay. Just based on the discussion we had so far this morning, how many variables are there in this data set? This is simply Excel sheet. The number of rows are there, a number of columns. These are the fields, or these are the attributes, or these are the variables, and like this one. Okay. So how many variables are there in this tree? 5. One is the age. So basically, क्या है data set ये? It is a data set of the, let's say, the students and the professionals, right? उनकी क्या feature capture की हुई है? Age, then the income, and then the category. Whether you are a student or you are a professional, right? And then it is assumed you have this credit card also, and it has a rating. Sometimes it is excellent, sometimes it is medium or small based on your expenses and your incomes and your liabilities. Okay, and then the computer. Then finally, based on these inputs, you buy a computer. You purchase a computer. So the final outcome is either you purchase yes or you don't. Right? Is that clear? So any database is given before any analysis and algorithm, the description is needed. So in this case, description is clear? Yes or no? And your input should be there with this. I'll be happy if you can grab something, some basic concepts. Okay. Now, so first thing is that when you the data set you have extracted or you have captured or you have prepared your own, the first thing will you start identify the variables into the two categories. One is the dependent variable and another one is the independent variable. Right? Okay. So from this discussion, from these figures, can you identify which one is the dependent variable and which are the independent variable? No? So how many independent, how many dependent? Numbers में यदि पूछे, this is a sort of quiz for you. So 4 independent variables है, 1 आपका dependent variable है, right? So dependent कौन सा है? Bias computer. वो थोड़ा दिन अंदर है वहाँ पे. Bias computer. Simply क्या है इसकी values? Yes or no? Okay. So it is a discrete outcome or continuous outcome? Discrete. Label 1. Yes. If you know, be confident. Yes. Right? So if we have understood this one, can we come to know which algorithm are going to be applied? Classification. Yes. So can we say we are going to apply supervised learning algorithm? Yes. ये कहाँ लिखा है यहाँ? That's your understanding with the subject. That's your understanding what we have been discussing. कि लिखना थोड़ी that we have to get the insight. That's the inductive learning. You got to know from the observations. But now you can ask a little bit, be more precise and give some mathematical foundation or the mathematical computation so that it could be extracted easily. Title वही था ना हमारा knowledge extraction. So this all you have extracted from the knowledge, and this is all the part of the past behavior. And how many reports are there? ये मुझे पता है, but I just wanted to ask you. 40, right? So if it is 40, so if I ask, what is the size of your data set? 40. ये कहाँ लिखा हुआ? This is another extraction. You can अभी manually कर सकते हैं. Later on we will take into any programming language, Python, R, SPSS, Excel, and then we apply certain count कर लेंगे and then we will come to know. Right? This is another. So 14 records are there. Okay. So input variables, number 1, age. Number 2, income. Number 3, student. Number 4, is that clear? Okay, do that. What is the type? Now the another step of this, getting to know your data precisely. What is the type of data? Input variable. ये तो clear हो गया. एक output है and 4 आपके input variables, right? Independent, remaining independent variable. Now, what is the category of the age? From the exploratory data analysis point of view, we usually deal with the 3 kind of variables. One is the nominal or categorical. Another one is the ordinal. ये note कर लीजिएगा. ये जब आप कभी machine learning पढ़ेंगे तब आपको समझ में आएगा. जरूरी नहीं है note करना, but if you are interested, that's categorical. Another one is the ordinal, and the third one is the ratio or interval. Right? So the categorical is a nominal variable. For example, there is a gender and the category is male and female, and there could be a third category also. Is that clear? This is a class, simple nominal or the categorical. कोई order नहीं. Now let's say if I want to apply encoding and decoding, can I represent male as a 0 and female as a 1? Yes. So the female will feel bad. Why female are with 0 and male are 1? You do vice versa. Female are 1000 and male are 500. Idea is that there is no order is there. It is a categorical variable, right? Now come to the another category of the ordinal. This is also a categorical, but in a specific order, right? For example, if I measure the temperature, In the morning or in the early hours, it is the minimum. The noon, it is the maximum. And to the end, it is the minimum or moderate or like. So can I say that the temperature, the category of rising temperature is a low, minimum, low, medium, high. Yeah, high, medium, low. Or could I put in any order? High, medium and low. Yeah, high, low and then medium. No, that is not. Like your ranking, like your grading. This is either ABC or excellence and the outstanding, then the A plus B, C. So there is an order. This is the ordinal. And third one is the ratio or interval or numeric. It is all same. Right? So based on this one, we need to understand this one. So now coming to the age, what kind of data is it? कुछ आप भी बता दो। ये काम की चीजें हैं की बात तो प्रोजेक्ट करोगे एआई के स्टूडेंट हो या एमएल के? एमएल के तो पीछे छोड़ने वाले नहीं है अभी काफी लंबे टाइम। I think I'm taking you a little bit more advanced जो आपका third year या fourth year में आएगा, but you will happy कि हमने सब पहले कर दिया, right? तो ये क्या है आपका? 3 categories हैं इसकी, एक less than or 30, एक between 30 to 40, and another one is a greater than 40, right? So it is numerical or categorical. If you really understand. गलत सही वाली अप्रोच नहीं, इट इज कैटेगरिकल नंबर से, लेकिन 3 कैटेगरी बना दी है उसकी, 3 कैटेगरीज में पुट अप कर दिया, लेस देन 30, बिटवीन 30 40 एंड अबाउट 40. सो इट इज योर द कैटेगरिकल डेटा. ओके फाइन. नेक्स्ट वन इनकम कैटेगरिकल. वेरी ट्रू. हाई लो मिड कैटेगरिकल है बट ऑर्डिनल भी है क्योंकि ऑर्डर है ना. एक लो मीडियम हाई. मीडियम तो क्या है? मीडियम इक्वल टू लो प्लस हाई डिवाइडेड बाय वो मीन वैल्यू है उसकी जो एवरेज ले रहे हैं, राइट? ओके, सो वो आपका ऑर्डिनल वैल्यू. देन द स्टूडेंट कैटेगरी कैटेगरिकल है, बाइनरी वैल्यूज हैं, यस और नो. क्रेडिट रेटिंग फिर एक्सीलेंट, दैट्स आल्सो द कैटेगरिकल. एंड दिस द आउटकम कैटेगरिकल, यस और नो, राइट? सो इट कैन आई से द आउटकम इज अ बाइनरी, वही है ना. So decision tree induction algorithm is the best way to apply in such a situation where your outcome is exactly binary value. Is that understood? क्योंकि ये देखना पड़ेगा ना कौन सा algorithm कहाँ पे लगाएंगे. So when you are dealing with such a data wherein the outcome is just binary or just categorical and the 2 categories you have, so the decision tree, why? Because there is a root node and there is a left child and there is a right child. Right? So this way decision tree induction algorithm is going to be the much suitable algorithm for this. Of course, we will see QST problems, cons and optimization and efficiency क्या that we will see. Okay. Now इस पे हमने tree बनाना है. We have said that decision tree is a top down divide and conquer recursive algorithm. Right? Top down करते हैं, recursively करते हैं and divide and conquer करते हैं. Right? बना लीजिएगा और फिर टाइम पास के लिए बना लीजिए तो ये रहेगा कि चलो टाइम निकल गया. कैन यू टेक इट? या पिक भी ले सकते हैं, हाँ ले सकते हैं, बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं, लेकिन क्वेश्चन पूछे जाएंगे फिर नहीं. सीरियसली पहले से ही आंसर वो क्वेश्चन मार्क लगाया हुआ. यू डोंट पुट अप द क्वेश्चन मार्क, आई पुट इट इन द क्वेश्चन. नहीं बनाएंगे Please now go to back. Just see the diagram, right? Assume if this is the data you have captured already and you have analyzed also. So you have divided this data set into the dependent variables and the independent variables, and based on that I have applied this decision tree induction algorithm, and this is the tree structure has come, right? Now, the first question has come, what should come to your mind? When you start constructing this tree, which one should be the root node? Age, income, credit rating, or which one? You have been given 4 independent variables, and the first thing should be because if we take different root node, the tree structure would be different. So here in this case I started with the root node. So why root node? Sorry, why this root age as a root node? Age को क्यों लिया हमने? Age देखने में अच्छा लगता है कि we are younger, so we feel happy. When I become a senior, then I feel not so happy. So do we apply some method? Just suppose today in case of COVID there are the more than 100 or more than 100 variables. So how will you identify that this is going to be on the root node? So if we say that we put it randomly, it is not going to know we are going to solve the purpose. If we say it is the first come first serve, that's also not a good approach, right? Or we take a anyone, no. So here we apply the statistical analysis, and there are the two techniques we apply. If we are dealing with the categorical variable, so we apply you all are aware of the entropy information, right? So we apply entropy, we compute the information gain, and the information gain for which attribute will be the maximum, that is going to be our root. Is that clear? Okay. So if we have converted into a root node and the tree has been created, then from this tree, what we do? We can generate rules, and through these rules we can get the knowledge, or we can extract the knowledge. For example, the rule 1 would be each rule is generated along each independent path. For example, rule 1: if age is less than or equal to 30, the student category is no, then the computer by is equal to no. That's the rule. Another rule: if age is less than or equal to 30, student category is yes, then computer by is equal to yes. Rule number 2. Okay. If age is less than or equal to between 30-40, then the computer by is ये yes कहाँ से आप देखेंगे वहाँ पे yes no लिखा हुआ based on this. Then when the age greater than 40, credit rating is excellent, then the computer by is equal to no. When the age greater than 40, credit rating is fair, computer by is equal to 4. Fail, sorry. Yes. How many rules have been generated? जब पूछा था ना फिर मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा फिर इसलिए बनाने के लिए बोला आप बताएंगे तो काउंट ही करना है ना फिर +2 किए हो एमसेट भी लिखे हो एडमिशन दिया है 2 सेमेस्टर भी क्लियर किए हैं इसमें तो फिर गुनाह अजीब नहीं है फाइन सो देयर आर द 5 रूल्स राइट हां पूछना प्लीज पूछिएगा क्वेश्चंस आपके ये फाइन नहीं है इंडिपेंडेंट पाथ 1 2 3 4 5 इंडिपेंडेंट पाथ ओके ये हो गया और कोई 6 नहीं है जबरदस्ती नहीं चलेगा ये थोड़ा बाद में आएंगे पहले रूल दिखा so this is the rule right so represent ये एक्सट्रैक्ट क्योंकि टॉपिक से मैं कोरिलेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन को कि हाउ डू यू एक्सट्रैक्ट द नॉलेज फ्रॉम दिस थ्रू दिस रूल्स so क्या है represent the knowledge in the terms of if then है तो प्रोग्रामिंग है कन्वर्ट के कर सकते हैं basically that's one rule is created for each path of the root to leaf. Leaf is the classification, root node is the initial stage. Then each attribute value pair along a path forms a conjunction. Conjunction is nothing and or not, no, सब कुछ and or लगा के बनाएंगे लोग. The leaf node holds the class prediction and rules are easier for humans to understand. At this point, can we say it was a classification problem or regression? Gentlemen, you. ऐसी चीजें पूछ सकते हैं ये थोड़ा सा राइट होता है इधर यू आस्क मी दैट क्वेश्चन और आई आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन ये क्लासिफिकेशन की प्रॉब्लम है या रिग्रेशन की राइट सो द एग्जांपल हो गए यस देन ये सारे यहां पे रूल बन गए दिस इज द रूल नाउ एनी प्रॉब्लम यू ऑब्जर्व इन दिस क्लासिफिकेशन और द एक्सट्रैक्टिंग द रूल नो मतलब यहां तक तो ठीक है 5 रूल्स बने Data set size कितना था आपका? 14. How many variables were there? 5. Now let us take another scenario. You have the hundreds variables, and the data size is the thousands of order, right? Like SMS, WhatsApp, ये सारे fake news detection. You have the thousands over 20,000, 50,000, millions or billions and like that. How will you create the tree? Boring होगा? ट्री बहुत लार्ज हो जाएगा ना, ट्री टॉप टू टोटल वर्क हो जाएगा ट्री। मैथमेटिक्स का पार्ट यही है ना कि वो सिर्फ 14 पे भी वर्क करेगा, 14 मिलियन पे भी करेगा। देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई मेंशन कि यहाँ पे कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी विल डजंट मैटर, क्लासिफिकेशन और एक्यूरेसी विल गिव द बेटर आउटपुट। So we can do, but then how many rules will be generated? How many paths and independent, then the rules will be. So when the rules are given, females will sit that side, males sit with this side. It is as simple as that to understand and to follow. But if you say that if a male and she is a hostler, she come by bus, then she will sit the first row. If he is a male, female and not hostler, come by own vehicle, go to the second row. It will be hell of the situation, no? Conclusion is that when the rules become so complex, so getting knowledge from this one, it becomes a tough task. That's the answer, right? So rule, as far as the smaller data is there, large number of attributes are there, you can apply this algorithm, but it is not widely used. It doesn't give you the categorization we discussed. Another thing, when the rules, but we can improve this method applying two technique. Tree pruning. Pruning means identifying the irrelevant features, ignoring them or excluding from the tree construction. The two approaches you apply: either you cut down all these irrelevant features before building up the tree, or once the tree has been built up, cut down all these ones, do the editing, and then apply or the generate the rules, right? Okay. And ये थोड़ा सा मैं यहाँ पे दिखा देता हूँ कैसे करते हैं। This is the attribute selection method. The question भी होता है feature selection का. This is one example of the feature selection, right? तो क्या methods apply करते हैं? Information gain and the gain index. Information gain किस पे apply करेंगे? Categorical data पर. Gain index किस पे लगाएंगे? Numeric पर. And vice versa. If we want to apply information gain, right? And there is a numeric data, then convert it to the discrete for the vice versa, right? Now let us say the information gain we apply like this one, P and P upon P plus n log 2 P by P plus n minus n for the anti-user. ये थोड़ा यहाँ से देखो practically ज़्यादा समझ में आ जाएगा. And data set will play a role to understand this one. Let's say class P, classification. P bias computer equal to yes and class no is bias computer equal to no. So it is a binary classification like male, female, yes or no. Yes, true, no? Okay, this is the outcome. Okay, fine. Then the IPN, information gain. If you see your data set and you have video, how many times yes are there in the outcome? Data में से देख करना पड़ेगा. How many times yes are there? नहीं बताएंगे ना? Can you count it? And how many times? No कितने times? 5. Total कितना हुआ होगा? 40. So what is the size of the data? 40. So this way you calculate the entropy of the age. So under this age, when the age is less than equal to 30, Pi means P equal to yes equal to 2 times. And the no equal to 3 times, and information gain you calculate, right? So similarly you calculate the gain for the age, for the income, and for the students and the credit, right? So which one is the high? This is for age 0.69. This is for 0.029. It is 0.151, and this is 0.048. So which one is the maximum? Age. So now which one is going to be the root now? That's the answer. Okay. एक ना इसको over here. This is like this one determining the final size 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 4, and like this. मैं क्या करता हूँ? Before we move to the another example, can we take this Python implementation? Yes. हम कर सकते हैं? Okay, fine. Meanwhile, any questions? Any question? Python तो मैं किया ना?
Yes, all they know Python.
So I directly come to the No questions so far. तो एक चीज तो तय है, या तो everything has gone overhead, या फिर सब कुछ को समझ नहीं आ रहा है चांस में. Anyway, but it is maybe it will trigger any one of you or some of you, and then you start practicing and practicing and do some research work or some designing any algorithm. So this is a data set. It is visible. So we start from here. So it is initially into Excel sheet. So you have the choice when you go with the Python directly, you can import the data. Okay, so I'll go a little bit quickly. So importing data, this is the first thing we can import. So you have import some pandas libraries, right? So we import pandas as 3D, NumPy for some numerical calculations, right? And then the warning just for displaying the message. And initially we are reading a CSV file, right? And this we have given the path and the double quote and then this CSV. Is that clear? Yeah, first one line. So I suppose in this one, let me see as TDS1, this is a type of data sets one equal to something like this one. And it should give the results if it is coming here, so we can take. How do we check whether data has come here or not? TDS1 dot, that correct? Right? So we see that the data is imported into our, this. We can see some more stats. Data size कैसे देखेंगे? Right? It is showing something like this one. Okay. Data type देख में तो हमें. So how many attributes it will show here, right? Age, income, student, grading, and all this one. We can apply certain pre-processing is any field is blank or out, or we can do like this one. इस सेल भी कोई नहीं है इस तरह का एक फंक्शन लगा के देखिए. सारे all the 14, 15 fields are there, right? Count भी कर सकते हैं. fields तो शायद वहाँ पे repeat हो रहे होंगे. In the data set we have just 14, right? So we can have a single data descriptive statistics. Describe. This is this descriptive simple giving counting, unique and top and frequent items, nothing more than यहाँ पे कुछ है नहीं ज़्यादा उस तरह का, right? And the first then another part is कहाँ से शुरू करें? Data has been imported. If you have gone through this, the diagram. First part was the importing data, then dividing the data. नहीं, rather than first you identify dependent variable क्या है और independent क्या है, right? So if we apply your classification algorithm, right? If I like simply write y equal to fx, it is classification supervised learning. Y is the outcome, x is the input, f is a function mapping to that. So similarly this way we are. So we are taking two variables, x as input and y as output. Okay. So y को हम डायरेक्टली ले लेते हैं यहाँ पे y equal to TDS मतलब data the object and then bracket में what is the outcome variable वाइज कंप्यूटर, राइट? इनपुट करने के लिए हमारे पास दो ऑप्शन है, या तो हम क्या करें x इक्वल टू एज, रेटिंग, क्रेडिट ऐसे करके डाल दें, या फिर क्या करते हैं लास्ट वेरिएबल को ड्रॉप कर दें, राइट? So this is what we have done. So x equal to TDS1 dot drop, यानी कि फाइनल वाला ड्रॉप कर दो, रिमेनिंग आपके इनपुट्स पे रहेंगे, राइट? एंड इफ यू वांट टू सी दैट, if I just want to see the x क्या है, so x has come like this one, right? And y, x, y we can see from here. यहाँ पे एक चीज आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा वेरिएबल्स आ रहे हैं, एज, you see, जो इधर वाले हैं ये तो डेटा में नहीं थे हमारे, थोड़ा सा क्विक एंड फास्ट है, क्या है बेसिकली, कैन वी अप्लाई डायरेक्टली दिस distance reduction algorithm to this one, source this data, so do we require any pre-processing, do we require somewhere encoding decoding, and answer is yes, because जो मैथमेटिक्स किन इंडेक्स है आपका इंफॉर्मेशन गेम है, नंबर्स पे लगेगा या डिस्क्रीट डेटा पे लगेगा, नंबर्स पे लगेगा, so we need to pre-process, so what we need to do, assign some values, numerical values, later on we assign, then afterwards we decode them, okay? Now next component क्या है यहाँ पे, splitting the, so for this no, from we take this just एक function लिखना है, ये क्या है आपका इनपुट, ये क्या है आउटकम, सो क्या कर रहा है ये, x को y में कर रहा है, f is a function we are going to apply, तो चूंकि पहले लगे हुए हैं, तो यहाँ पे if we apply the artificial neural networks in this situation in place of decision tree, then f is going to be this activation function, right? Any activation you will apply, so what is the purpose, this x, for given x1 there is a y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, these are the input, this is the output, but now here I am taking as a decision tree, so a function कुछ नहीं है, function is a mapping component, and let correlate this input to the output scenario, okay? So scikit-learn .org, scikit ये algorithms, we are using the library of this machine learning function, and we use sklearn.model selection import train test split, meaning that split the training and testing part, right? Okay, so x के दो component हो गया, x train, x test, y train, y test, okay, and we use x, y and test size equal to 0.3. So what does it mean here? यानी कि टेस्टिंग साइज कितना है 30%, so what will be the training 70, so it is understood, right? We can specify explicitly also or not, and if you want to be like we can increase some one-third rotation also, right? We can give right vice versa also, training size equal to 2/3, and that means remaining part would be of the testing, okay? Now if I want to see these values कि कितना एक्सप्रेस में कितना आएगा, how many values? 5, 1/5 होगा ना, कितना टोटल साइज कितना था 40 नहीं, यहाँ पे 90 है, तो एक राउंड नंबर है, this is just one. Okay, so continue with this one. Now, so no need to talk now that this is a classification problem, right? We are going to deal with it, and यहाँ पे हमने ये before we apply the algorithm directly, we can come to this one, applying this detection algorithm. So what we do, they are the inbuilt algorithms, but what we do as a student, we should do change all the parameters, change all the hypermeters. right? How does we, let's say first initially हम ये कर लेते हैं. So sklearn dot tree import एक decision tree classifier को एक this is a model, right? And इसको यहाँ पे call किया. Then tree model dot fit x and y, meaning x और y को fit कर रहा है. So this become a fitting problem. Fitting means that meaning that if for the given x1, given x, what would be the y? So this we are doing under this one, right? Then to see the outcome, then the sklearn import tree just put into a graphical format. We could see any other component also, like the confusion matrix or the summary of the reports, and like this one. So and then finally we put this एक plot कर लेते हैं, tree plot, tree model and fit. और शायद हम y plot see when you are getting this is it visible to you or to size बढ़ाएं इसका size बढ़ाएं थोड़ा fast करना पड़ रहा है but we can have the discussion please there is nothing like that. Now see here what we are getting all these informations, you know. X is less than or equal to 2.5, Gini equal to 0.459, samples 14, values 59. तो ये 19 पे नहीं लगा है, हमें 14 पे लग रहा है, right? क्योंकि coding हुआ वो तब 14 का डेटा, right? So how does this information is coming up? When you apply this any machine learning algorithm, as a student it's okay. See, nothing has been done. Scikit-learn library से एक distance induction algorithm call किया है, inbuilt function है, and applied the inputs and we are getting. But as a student or at least as a teacher or as a researcher, when you go for the further studies or the higher studies, this algorithm is not telling कि ये Gini क्या है? Why the Gini has come? Gini was applied in which condition? What is Gini? We applied two statistical measures. One was the information gain and one was the Gini index, right? Gini index applied to the numeric values you observed in the slides. So, and information gain was applied to the discrete or the categorical values. So this the algorithm has applied and giving you this one, and based on that. Now for every sub-root, there is on the top, there is a root node, then the left child, and then the right child. And this way, tree start building from the top down, divide and conquer, recursively. Right? So recursively means the same thing will be applied to this last child and the right sub-child. And then this carry it. And then finally you get this. This is the applied, right? Not only this one, when you as a student, when we apply this machine any decision induction algorithm. So what are the parameters? Have we seen? No. So this is the, it will give you the, what are the parameters given or assigned to this recently classifiers, right? So criteria. What is on the top? What is the criteria? Gini. What is the splitter? Best. What do you mean by best? हमने ना theory actually थोड़ा fast के चक्कर में skipping किया हमने. You didn't ask actually any questions. So I had my own questions and own explanation. So that's why it matters. What should be the stopping criteria for a tree construction? That's why I was requesting you kindly make a data set on your table or on your take a pic, so that when you are involved with the discussion, then you understand better. Right? But tree हमने शुरू किया. कब तक चलेगा? क्योंकि recursively कर रहे हैं. And we didn't apply any recursive criteria, any stopping criteria. So what should be the stopping criteria? The simple one. Continue. If all the classification has reached to the leaf node, यही होगा ना कि सारे classified हो गए. That is the one. Another one. There is no sample left in the data set. That could be the another one. Right? These are the best criteria. And third one, there is no more sample to be tested. So these are the, so we applied the best criteria. Okay, then the maximum depth. तो the tree का depth कितना जाना चाहिए? We can assign कि हमारा, because rules are going to be complicated and we need to extract this knowledge from these rules or using these rules, so we don't want to make them complex, so we can give some depth of the tree, right? So we have not given anything. Minimum sample is split to initially root divided into the two categories because there is a binary. Then the minimum sample, minimum rate, maximum feature none, random state. Random state we have not given any, like in the case of sampling with the replacement. Okay. And then the class, hit none, and CCPF or something, and then the description. It is the decision tree classifier, root or it or something like this. So what I am saying, when you apply any algorithm, थोड़ा सा इसको pass to इसको down कर देता हूँ, and just to tell you that how you need to apply this one. You just don't call these algorithms, these libraries as it is and convert into the algorithm. At least for the sake of your understanding, change these parameters, right? This is called the parameter tuning and the hypertuning. जितने parameters हैं ना वहाँ पे, वो सब आप change करिएगा. Define your own for the better understanding. So चलो खैर मैं यहाँ पे छोड़ देता हूँ. So this is one way. Now, if I want to get the confusion matrix, so what I do? Actually, this is the job I should have discussed earlier, but it is the part of the pre-processing, right? So हमने क्या किया? हमने label encoder लगाया. एक नया variable लिया, lease, income, lease, students and lease credit rating, and these are the encoders, right? So meaning that when we apply this label encoder, so these three variables become the additional, and they will be assigned 0, 1, 0, 1, and like this. So if we see here, want to see the value of this one, so we can find out. So now x becomes a new variable जो which has been added in your database. ये first वाला value x age and n मतलब new variable, age के लिए, income new के लिए, student n के लिए and credit के लिए. So these were the variables introduced in your now you can see this one, age new, income new, student new and credit new. And can you understand why you have converted into this format? Because when this statistic will be applied, for example, your gain has to be calculated. It will not be calculated on high, medium and low. It will not be calculated on excellent, far, yes or no. They have to be converted into some. This is a part of your pre-processing, right? So encoding and decoding. And these are the values. 2 क्यों लिया यहाँ पे? Because low, medium, high है तो 0, 1, 2 values हो सकती हैं, yes, no है 0, 1 ले सकते हैं. Explicitly you can assign any value, 1, 2, 100, 200, whatever. But there should be, if it is a categorical, just put in any random order. If it is a ordinal, give some range, like 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 0, or like this. You can't put 2, 0, 1 any randomly and all. Okay? So ये यहाँ पे हो गया. This is showing you the data. So here now. So your analysis is going to work on these variables, right? So now we have converted into this one, and later on while we are going to represent the results, we will decode them. And now decision tree as a classifier, so we have seen this one. And now say, I want to put some matrices. So confusion matrix is the word. When we apply the confusion matrix, initially, when we saw we were talking about the definition of the machine learning, E, T, and P. P was the performance measure. So in this case, what would be the measurement? Discrete or numerical? Discrete. So under discrete, the errors will come or the confusion matrix will come. Confusion matrix will come. Precision, accuracy, recall, precision. ROC curves, all this. So we can do this classification report. We can generate Y prediction and this Y prediction. Coding simple है वो, I mean it is very customized. Simply calling the function and then putting it. Concept बस ये समझ लीजिएगा. ये हमारा outcome है, ये हमारा input है, ये दिया हुआ है. ट्रेनिंग टेस्टिंग हम जब तक कर रहे हैं जब तक for given x1 and given outcome. Prediction कब लगाएंगे when the unknown value will be given for this one. What will be the situation for this one? That would be the testing and the validation part. एक रिपोर्ट यहाँ से भी हम करना चाहें. Classification report. This is inbuilt function again. Can you see from here what measures we are getting? Precision, recall, F score and the support. In this case हमारी maximum accuracy कितनी आ रही है? 1 आ रही है. Meaning that ये precision is counted in terms of the accuracy. Right? तो 100% दिखा रहा है. Accuracy. Micro, macro and weighted average लेना, but it is coming 1. Meaning that there is no error. So model become the perfect. But this is not the situation. Why? Because the data set was very low, right? We have manipulated, this applied our own way default values. We have not gone for any hyper tuning and parameter tuning. We are not changing even any one of this one. Okay. So ये हमारे bias reason है. So 14 के 14 हो yes दिखा रहा है. 9 के 9 out of this, 5 आपके no and 9 आपके yes out of total 14. So the accuracy become 100%. This will not happen. ना हमने pruning की है, ना pre-processing की है, ना encoding की है, ना decoding की है, ना parameter tuning की है, ना कोई extraction लगा है. Nothing we have wrong. This is a by default result and these are the biased ones. And that's why when you say if you want to further improve the accuracy, what will you do? One से ज़्यादा कर सकते हैं क्या? क्यों? What is it? It is a percentile. So 1 means 100%. So 0 means would be 0 means minimum, 1 is the maximum. So this is what we are now. We can put another matrix here. Confusion matrix ले सकते हैं. Confusion matrix score करना पड़ेगा. Here. SQL matrix import confusion matrix. Confusion का नाम ही confusion है. Don't get confused. Confused मतलब ये कि right को right पता है, wrong को wrong पता है. And confusion like this when you are not positive with corona and you are declared you are corona positive. That's a confusion matrix. Because the two results have been diagnosed with the negative result, right? So this is only the confusion. इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. तो उसको if you want to see in the graphical visualization, confusion matrix solve कर लेंगे. SQL line import confusion matrix display भी कर लेते हैं. And y prediction is the y की new value, right? So let us see if it's displayed. एक मैट्रिक्स होता है. पूरे रिजल्ट एनालाइज करने हैं तो वी कैन अप्लाई अगेन. So they are the two categories. You can see the visual results. This 0, this is 1 because they have been now. We have just एक column लिख दिया यहाँ पे no yes just to put a label कि no किसको represent कर रहा है, 1 किसको कर रहा है because initial results were in the form of the yes and no. And if you apply this, we didn't try that much R&D. If you apply the direct this induction algorithm to the given data set, it will not show you the result. Why? Because it will not be applicable on the categorical value. So you have to go with the little bit pre-processing part. Now, had it been a regression problem, then can we do this directly? And the answer is a yes, like this. Can we? ये तो supervised है ना आपका example. From this, I mean simple formula, can we say it is for supervised or unsupervised? Supervised. Label. And if it was unsupervised case, for example, image का है या clustering का, only there are the X. Now find the patterns among and read the axon. Right? So there is no specific explicit outcome, so then you need to go with the clustering algorithm for the unsupervised. Right? So here it will give you this what you call the graphical figures and something like this. And similarly, I am not going for this another algorithm. Now the choice I will leave to you to discuss something theoretically, either taking your queries, and the algorithm should be for the name-based algorithm, and then the k-nearest neighbors, and then the AMN, SVM, and that. But here one thing this only, because I just inspired from this given, softmax, it is activation function. So when you apply in this artificial neural network to this problem, supervised learning algorithm, so this app is going to be this. So under this programming, you just count the artificial neural network as a classifier or MLP classifier, multi-layer perceptron classifier, and use these different functions. You have studied sigmoid है आपका, linear है, ReLU है, tangent है, softmax है, and many others. So the question which will give you the better outcome? Need to go apply the whole different one, give the different learning weights, give the different momentum, assign the different weights, give the number of layers, number of hidden layers, number of the nodes, and apply all the two versions. It is the back propagating and the feedback. And here you will get the better result. Of course, in this case, already आपके 100 मिल रहे हैं, but this is not the ideal situation. I just took it from the demonstrative purpose, demonstrative point of view. For the practical scenario, you at least go to the CAGR or the UCI machine learning repository or the OpenML.org or the GitHub. You can get the thousands repositories of the billions of like COVID ka, and then you can apply. So before I leave to this, either I take another example of the algorithm. Padmaja ma'am told me keep your discussion a little bit restricted. Else I am ready for the whole day. As a teacher, I don't mind anything, whatever I can share with you, either theoretically or the practically. Or the session is open for the house is open for the question session. आप कोई क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करना चाहेंगे तो मैं आपके क्वेश्चन क्वेरीज लेता हूँ. आपको जल्दी से पीपीटी पे चल रहे हैं, कुछ थेटी डिस्कस कर लेते हैं या फिर यहाँ पे डायरेक्टली कर लेते हैं. So that's you decide. You are the boss today. मैंने जो डेटा सेट लिया है ना वहाँ पे वो ऊपर वाले जहाँ पे जो यूसी है
Any questions, students? Though you are new to machine learning, many students, but after understanding the basics, please try to ask some questions, whatever comes to your mind. These are the things again you are going to study. And already second years they have studied already. Yes or no? This is your subject. There is nothing going beyond that. This is there in your textbook. You have to study. This example, there is lesson 3 algorithm. This is what sir has shown. This we are going to do in the lab also. Isn't it? This is your core subject. Show your interest. You are into the ML branch, AI and ML. This is your core subject and lab.
So क्या हुआ पार्ट मल्टी फोल्डर्स में पड़े रहते हैं. So for demo purpose I just took it जो भी मिला वहाँ पे. So initially वो एक दूसरा डेटा सेट Actually, usually जहाँ पे class वगैरह में करना होता है तो you immediately just download and put in some folder and get extract. The best part is the part that you can directly extract from the repository. You need not to extract in the some file folder and then you can take from this. And not only this Excel CSV file, you can take it from any flat files. Text format also you can use, any DBMS format, any formats you can use. So this is going to be CSV file क्या होती है? Proper separated file. So just to take over. So idea is that you create the best practice is that at least you create your own. And if you are taking from some standard repositories, then at least analyze that mathematical component. Many times even I'm not just blaming you that you are the second year and third year student, and that's the beauty of this your specialized course. Otherwise the regular this core branch of computer science student hardly get this subject in the final semester. We in our departments we have the BTech, MTech, MCA and the PhD students, and we teach this subject to the MCA final year and then the MTech and to the BTech the final year. Right? But because the branch is the specialization one, so it started a little bit earlier. So here your job is not actually just following the functions and getting the results. No, you need to get into the algorithm. Like this, the complexity is one component, but here we are not worried about the complexity part because we have the computational techniques available unlimited. So you apply all those. We are interested in the results so that the machine can learn. Right? वो जो एक एग्जांपल कॉपी दिखाने का लिया था, so learning from the observations, learning from the past, or saying the mistakes, learning from the observations. This is that's why the artificial intelligence is going to play this computational simulation of these human processes, human intelligence processes. Right? So I think, remember, if you, I mean, your boys or the students have some question, I'll continue. Or the student, I take another one. What do you want, sir? Should
continue with the PPT or another exam?
PPT. Oh, they will ask you back up. Yes, sir. बैठ के बताइए, कोई तो है पूछने वाला.
How can you set the threshold value?
किस केस में? Logistic regression ना? For example, let's say the regression का कोई example से नहीं मालूम है. Logistic regression के लिए, actually regression is applied to establish the relationship between the two variables, right? And usually in this scenario, one is the dependent variable and one is the this one. So here x is the dependent, y is the independent. For example, equation ये है आपका. This is the equation of right? Line का simple equation है. ये आपका dependent variable है, ये आपका dependent variable है, ये simple आपका slope है. dy by dx है, यहाँ पे ये आपका constant हो गया, parameters हो गया, right? So relationship establish कर रहे हैं. Okay, so between x and y, linear relation है आपका, linear relation. So कैसे correlate कर सकते हैं? So r is a coefficient relation आपने शायद सुना होगा. Are you aware of it? Pearson coefficient r. But if you have gone through this practical exercise, so either you use ordinary linear square methods लगाते हैं आप यहाँ पे, when you call for the linear regression की बात करो, right? Or you use any other method. So what you do? We apply the Pearson correlation. It is another statistics. Pearson correlation. X or Y के बीच में correlation. Right? Actually लेक्चर के हिसाब से स्लाइड्स होती हैं, so आपने क्वेश्चन तो अच्छा पूछ लिया. कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? एनीवन ऑफ इट जस्ट क्लिक. फॉर्मूला ये है आपका, दिस इज द कोवेरिएंस एंड पियर्सन कोरिलेशन, द लास्ट वाला कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट पियर्सन कोरिलेशन कंप्यूट करते हैं बिटवीन द टू वेरिएबल्स डिपेंडेंट x एंड y में लेके, राइट, एंड दिस इज द डायग्राम, आई थिंक इट इज विजिबल, राइट. So this is the x and this is the y and the value of a is r equal to 0.3. So r is the correlation coefficient. If it is equal to 0, then there is no relationship at all. If r equal to +1, then absolutely they are the 100% probability. Now see in this scenario, x and y, and this is the data set, and these are scattered in a not a uniform in a single. It is not the equation of line y equal to s is spread and 1. So this is coming r equal to 0.3. So this is a low positive correlation because value should lie between -1 to +1. +1 directly proportional, -1 inversely proportional. Similarly, now see these points are coming closer together. Right? See this also r becomes 0.80. That is an 80%. This is a high positive correlation. And the equation I took it. Y equal to mx plus c. So in that equation, y is directly proportional to the x, whatever we are giving, and that's why it becomes the r equal to +1.0. It is strongly correlated. And now see this one. Do we have any difference between this one? ये r positive है, ये r -1. So ये क्या है आपका? ये भी पर positive, I mean closely related है, but it is the inversely proportional because the value of r equal to -1 and here r equal to position in between. Now it depends on the distribution of the data also. So for the better analysis, your data should be in a normal curve. Distribution of data should be in a bell curve shape. Bell curve ऐसे बनता है ना? Right? So if the data is towards, so in this case, that's why initially we were talking about stats, mean, mode, and median. So when your data is a normal curve, distribution is a uniformly distributed of the data point. Then in that case, it is mean, mode, and median all are same, and that's why as a teacher we can explain. No, that's why we have taken the mean value, not we have gone to the maximum, minimum, or like this. But when the data is skewed, like this one, or something like this one. For example, take this. इस केस में एक मैं लाइव एग्जांपल लेता हूँ. First करो, if we include the salary of the four business tycoons, Ambani and the Adani, right? So the average salary of the common people will go down or up? Up जाएगी ना? And simply we will become the rich people without doing anything, right? But the moment you exclude their salary, we will be a poor fellow without doing anything. Because the distribution is very sparse, वो uniform नहीं है. It's a huge. We have taken the outlier. You include the salary of the Bill Gates, of the industry people, and like this one, then the mean values will come. This go up and will come down. That's why that is not a. So the distribution should be uniform. So, and that's why when we go for the uniform distribution, it doesn't matter. You take mean, you take mode नहीं है. Median. Mode because maybe mode की definition है कि the single number is not repeated. So the observation are not going to repeat like आपके numbers हैं. तो ऐसे नहीं है 40, 50, 60, 40, 50, 60. 14 भी है, 42 भी है, 19 भी है, 89 भी है. So these are the unique observations. So that there will be no mode. Mode means frequency नहीं है, not more than once. So mode तो भी median and आपका mean will be the same value. So coming to this logistic will be applied to the discrete values, right? So in as far as you talk about that this threshold values, in discrete cases we apply this analysis. What I was talking about. What में क्या डिस्कस करते हैं? हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग के लिए कौन सा मेथड अप्लाई कर रहे हैं? Chi square, right? So यहाँ पे p की वैल्यू होती है 0.05. तो यदि उससे नीचे है या ऊपर है, तो नीचे है तो नहीं है वो रिलेट, ऊपर है तो भी कंसिडर. So this way the numbers will tell you that what is the significance, what is the mathematical or the physical interpretation of your result. For example, the best part of ANNU, it will give you the better result, and it has a lot of flexibilities to manipulate and implement the details, right? But the worst part of this artificial intelligence neural network method, it suffers with the overfitting. Overfitting is a phenomenon. You can keep on changing your model, your algorithm, and then it learns over the period irrelevant things also, right? Like parrot. Parrot देखा है ना आपने? वो घर के सब नाम रट लेगा आपके. But when an unknown person comes, the prediction always would be upside down because she never been trained on the unknown data. So that's the meaning. And apart from that, there is no mathematical interpretation of the artificial neural network result. So that's why then we switch to the support vector machine, which is purely based on the statistical theory of learning. Right? That will give you the quantitative assessment. That's why the SVM is the best methods we apply it for the classification, and it can be applied for both classification also and the regression problem. And if you move forward, then the gradient boosting machine, because then we go for the bagging and boosting algorithms. Like so, removing the negative points of these individual methods like this. There is a decision tree, and there is another algorithm is a random forest. So, random forest is the example of the bagging and boosting. So, decision trees, the maximum trees are put together. So, the best feature is taken together, and the negative of the B classifier, which is not giving you the better outcome, उसको हम फिर upgrade करते हैं, and that way we put the assemble all together and it becomes a hybrid. So that's it. So I think you can try. Okay, fine. And our indication is there. So thank you very much. You have been a very wonderful.
Thank you so much for accepting my request and coming over here to give the lecture. We are highly thankful to you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time and effort. We truly appreciate your knowledge. Students, afternoon classwork will be as usual. Okay, after lunch you can join your class and labs, whatever you have. Okay, from Monday, your internal lab exams will be there for certain subjects which you have not completed. And attendance will be considered. Those who are present over here will take the attendance. Don't leave. Okay? And afternoon and attendance will be separate. Please wait for some time. Professor Pradeep. Nagaraju sir, please do the salutation.
Students, join for a group photo. Today is the last day. Please join for a group photo.
Yes, please come.
Yeah. First, third year students. Semester. Please come.